Diddy's son just put out a public hit on 50 Cent. I'm not joking. Christian Combs literally tweeted that if he ever sees 50, he's going to slap him. And that's not even the craziest part. Multiple celebrities are now allegedly trying to eliminate 50 Cent after his Netflix documentary dropped, obviously according to the fans. And the names involved will blow your mind.
Look, this isn't just some internet beef anymore. 50 Cent is now getting threats from multiple sides, and some of these people are seriously desperate to shut him up. In this video, I'm going to show you exactly which celebrities are trying to silence 50, why they're so scared, and what they're willing to do to make this documentary disappear. But first, you need to understand why everyone is freaking out. 50's documentary about Diddy just hit 21.8 million views in only 6 days. That's right, it even beat Stranger Things on Netflix. And this isn't just some gossip show. This documentary includes never-before-seen footage, private phone calls, and people who worked with Diddy for decades finally speaking out. So, yeah, certain people are panicking right now. And 50? He's exposing every single one of them on Instagram with zero filter. Trust me, you're going to want to stick around for this one. Before we dive into the drama, let me give you the full picture of what's really happening. 50 Cent spent 2 whole years making this documentary, 2 years. He captured footage of Diddy in the days right before his arrest, including private conversations with his lawyers, insiders from Bad Boy Records telling their stories, and allegations involving some seriously dark stuff.
Alright, so I'm gonna make it abundantly clear. I'm not here defending Diddy. I am here because I got dragged into this because somebody asked me a question and I had an opinion. Nobody's wrong for giving an opinion about any subject, period. I'm not here defending Diddy. Don't let the narrative fool you or get to you. Once again, somebody's creating narratives. This is my point. So please look at the whole clip that I did and then look what happens with the narrative. And that's what I'm telling you. Y'all people don't be sheep. Use your brain, use your freedom of thought, freedom of speech, and don't ever let nobody bully you.
The documentary covers everything, the parties, the allegations, and even claims about what happened to Tupac and Biggie. It's heavy stuff. Now that millions have seen it, certain celebrities are panicking and trying to get it taken down. Some are allegedly even attempting to bribe officials to keep their names away from anything linked to Diddy. But 50 Cent isn't backing down. He's posting receipts, calling people out by name, and making it clear he's not scared. The biggest reaction came from Diddy's son, Christian Combs, who publicly threatened 50 online. He didn't stop there, he even released diss tracks aimed at him. While Christian struggles for attention, 50 is making millions from a #1 Netflix documentary. Meanwhile, Diddy's twin daughters faced massive backlash after defending their father and telling people to rise above it, forcing them to turn off comments. And to top it off, Marlon Wayans shocked fans by defending Diddy on the radio, criticizing 50 for releasing the documentary. Bottom line, every threat, post, and defense is only making things worse, and the pressure keeps growing.
50 Cent put out this Diddy doc, and Marlon was asked about this Diddy doc on, what is this, 92.3, okay, in LA, and they asked him, did he watch it? And he said he was Diddy'd out. Let that, pretty much saying, yo, that man is already doing time, and he said 50 Cent gotta be careful because, you know, he gonna get his karma. Something to that effect. What you got to say about that?
F you, the boat you ride on, anybody look like you got your last name and roll on that boat with you. You feel me?
Correct.
I'm picking a side, bro. You understand?
Mm-hmm.
I'm picking a side. I'm not giving no dude, you understand, that I'm against a chance to ever do anything against me again. I'm not giving him, he don't got no side, bro. You know, anybody on his side is against me.
Understood.
And I'm going on that premises for the rest of my life. If you like a that I hate you.
Marlon Wayans went even further, saying Diddy just needs time to sit with God, instead of being destroyed publicly. That raised eyebrows, because nobody asked him to defend Diddy. 50 Cent responded immediately, posting a photo of Marlon from White Chicks and telling him to keep his name out of his mouth. Marlon fired back with insults, old photos, and more warnings about karma, which only made people ask one question: why is he so defensive? Even Charlemagne the God called out the hypocrisy, noting that no one complained when other platforms released Diddy documentaries, only when 50 did. That energy felt suspicious, then things got weird. Across 4 full episodes about Diddy's life, one major name was completely missing: Jay-Z. No photos, no mentions, nothing, despite their deep history together. Fans are now questioning whether a behind-the-scenes deal was made, because there's no way to tell Diddy's story without mentioning Jay-Z.
And, it seems like Diddy's just out there to take, everyone's girl, it seems like. If you got her, I want her.
Jack, let me ask you, in episode 3, we get to the Kim Porter story and, of course, introduce Cassie. What are your thoughts as far as how they portrayed Kim Porter with this Reckoning documentary?
They didn't portray her at all.
Yeah, they didn't.
That's the thing. They didn't portray her at all. She was spoken for by Kalina. That was interesting to watch. You don't think? Kalina's testimony, she was probably the most pitiful witness they brought up to speak about all of this in the entire thing. Kalina?
Wait, why you say that? She was emotional. She was...
Emotional? That's what you call it?
That's what I'm trying to call it.
Capricorn Clark was emotional. I'll give her emotional. I'm sitting there looking at someone, in my opinion, who appears to be struggling with a substance issue, trying not to fall apart on camera. Meanwhile, nobody paying attention to the fact that she's sitting there afraid to really say anything at all because she's in the middle of a custody battle and she's trying to get her kids back. And she's got to be careful of whatever she says because it could make it impossible for her to get her kids back. Did nobody pay attention to that?
Yeah, no, she said she wanted $5K from Diddy,
she wanted $5K from her former bandmate and a billionaire, and he wouldn't even give her $5K to help her get her kids back. Why not? But then again, nobody's talking about who her husband is and who her husband is to Diddy. He's one of Diddy's #1 minions.
Oh yeah, no, that's news.
He's a loyalist. He is a Diddy doo-wop-bop. Kalina's also bisexual, so I'm finding it kind of interesting that she didn't see anything, she wasn't around anything.
She's been saying for a while that certain people were deliberately erased from this story, and she wants to know how. Is Jay-Z really so powerful that he can disappear from Diddy's history? What strings were pulled? We may never know the full truth, but it's definitely suspicious. And then there's Jennifer Lopez. Her silence is loud, really loud. Remember the club shooting years ago? J.Lo reportedly had a gun in her purse that night and gunshot residue on her hands. Meanwhile, a woman named Nada was shot in the face and still has bullet fragments in her body to this day.
All Jennifer Lopez had to do was marry a white boy, Oscar winner for people to stop remembering that she had a gun in her pocketbook. She had gunshot residue on her hands the night that Natanya was shot at that club. For all we know, that bullet came from the gun that was in her hand. And not once has she spoken up for the betterment of that woman. Not once has she donated to her family or for her medical bills that she's still paying or say something in her defense to stop Puffy from gaslighting her and trying to put hits out on her because he was afraid that maybe one day they would open the case and she still has the bullet fragments in her face. Like J.Lo has said, nothing. You really thought that just running off and marrying Ben Affleck was going to take you out of the Diddy downfall? But it saved her the first time though, didn't it? Because as soon as that club was over and as soon as they finished interrogating her, when she sat there and cried like a baby, I don't want to go to jail. I don't want to go to jail. Benny Medina put her with that drunk white boy until she ran him off. Like, there are people sitting here screaming out at the toll that the atrocities that Sean Combs has done to their lives, and you're trying to avoid your part in the story or the fact that you never spoke up. You want to tell people on the low and put it out there that the movie was about you getting away from Puffy, but you didn't think about the trail of girls that you left behind. What happens to Cassie if J-Lo had said something to Diddler back then? Would Cassie have ever been a victim? Answer me that. Because that situation happened in the late 90s. That situation happened before Aaliyah passed away, and Aaliyah passed away in 2001. He didn't get with Cassie until 2009, 15 years after he was with Jennifer. If she had to come forward about the abuse that she suffered in a relationship with Sean Combs, Cassie would never have gone through what she's gone through. J-Lo being a stand bitch is Cassie not getting punted in a fucking hallway.
And what did J.Lo ever do for Nada? Nothing. She never spoke up, never helped with medical bills, and never stopped Diddy from blaming the victim. Instead, she stayed silent and moved on, hoping time would erase her connection to him. If she had told the truth back then, it could have saved other women years of pain, but she didn't, and meanwhile, Diddy's lawyers went into full damage control mode as soon as the documentary dropped. They sent Netflix a cease and desist, calling it a hit piece and threatening lawsuits over a stolen of footage. The irony? That footage came from a videographer Diddy himself hired. He filmed everything before his arrest, thinking he'd prove his innocence, but instead, he recorded his own downfall. Those recordings, including calls with his lawyer, show Diddy obsessing over his image and trying to control the narrative. Now they're public, and they paint a very ugly picture. Add and resurface clips of Diddy joking on TV, and suddenly everything hits a lot differently.
More dye in that beard than Diddy wears.
All right, that's enough.
I know.
That's enough.
I seen him. He shows me behind the curtain.
That's enough. All right, I'm gonna edit. I'm gonna edit this out.
But still,
Put a
note on it. You can edit that one.
Ellen has been keeping a very low profile since the documentary dropped, and people are starting to ask why. What does she know about Diddy's parties, and why is she staying so quiet? The connection is there, and people are noticing. Kevin Hart's reaction has raised eyebrows too. An old video of him partying with Diddy has resurfaced, and 50 Cent reposted it on Instagram, suggesting Kevin might be nervous about what the documentary could reveal.
Some dudes belong in jail based on what they do and how they do it. We know that to be true. And it's just this situation, man, when they get down to all the facts and all what happened, he may belong in jail, bruh. And that's not my doing. That's not Cassie doing. That's his doing and his learned behavior from the people that mentored him. You gotta realize, man, he learned from Andre Harrell. He learned from Russell Simmons. He learned from Clyde Davis. You understand? When those people are telling you that they were heavy into the drugs, they was heavy into beating women and doing things at that age, at that crazy stage, that's gonna make him think that he can get away with the same thing that they was getting away with back then. You understand? The things that he was saying, you know, the touchy-feely between two men and all that stuff like that, man. All that, he learned that from them dudes. When I told y'all the story, when me and my man went up to Russell Simmons, and he had a house, and he had a man in bikini drawers in his bedroom, in his bed. You understand? Bruh, this is that he learned. I'm assuming he learned it from them. Let me put that. And I'm not gonna say alleged because I saw that for my own self. My man was with me, Slick was with me, and we saw that for our own self. You understand what I'm saying? So these are behaviors and things that with drugs and all the stuff that's going on, pills, drinking, it can make this man into a monster, and that's what it did, bro. It made him into a monster, bro. What's happening to him now is one of the greatest tragedies that we're gonna ever read about, bro. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies that Shakespeare couldn't write in Richard. He couldn't write it in Macbeth. He couldn't write this in Romeo and Juliet. This is going to be one of the greatest tragedies of hip-hop, along with Pac's death, along with Big's death. And he brought it on himself.
There's a clip where Mark Wahlberg jokes about Diddy, and Kevin Hart instantly looks nervous. You can see it all over his face. He starts asking for edits and begging certain parts not to be included. If there's nothing to hide, why the panic? Meanwhile, Russell Simmons has been posting vague messages from Bali about people trying to tear down black icons. The internet quickly connected it to this documentary. And let's be real, he's in Bali because there's no extradition treaty with the US. Gene Deal, Diddy's former bodyguard, even said Russell belongs in jail right alongside Diddy. Gene Deal said Diddy learned his behavior from powerful industry figures like Russell Simmons and Clive Davis. Simmons alone has faced allegations from 18 women and fled to Bali after they surfaced. Stevie J, one of Diddy's loudest defenders, attacked 50 Cent publicly, only for 50 to mock him with receipts and screenshots from lawsuits. Floyd Mayweather also raised eyebrows by defending Diddy unprompted, saying things that shocked fans, including comments about his own daughter. 50 immediately clapped back, trolling Floyd in classic fashion. Ray J's strange interviews defending Diddy only made people more suspicious, while Rick Ross stayed silent, something 50 made sure to highlight using Ross's own lyrics. At this point, the pattern is clear. Anyone defending Diddy, or staying silent, is being exposed. So the question is, who's most desperate to stop this documentary, and why? Drop your thoughts in the comments, and subscribe, because this story is far from over.